Hello, fifth graders. Are you ready for some math? If you're bored at home, maybe it's time to do some math. We're going to do Chapter 10 review today, and Mr. Lesevich might give you a chapter quiz tomorrow, or he may not. We will see. Okay, so let's get into some review today. I personally believe that you guys are all capable of answering all the questions in the chapter review wrap-up, but Mr. Lesevich is wiser. He thought it might be better if I give you some samples. So here we go. Some vocabulary first. And the first vocabulary, percent. It means out of 100. It is another way to compare two numbers, and it means the same as a fraction with a denominator of 100. The next word, sales tax. So it's something you pay when you buy something, a tax you pay when you buy something. Discount. If you have a discount, it means you pay for something less than its regular price. So you pay a lower price of something than its regular price. Interest, not your interest in something. It is the money a bank pays you if you deposit money in the bank. So these are the vocabularies of this chapter and some calculations. Express fraction or decimal as a percent. If you see a fraction, and if you're required to express it as a percent, we know that we can do something to change the denominator to 100. Then we get a fraction of something out of 100, and it's for in this example 8 out of 20. 20 times 5 is 100. So 8 times 5, it keeps the fraction equivalent. And you get 40 out of 100, which is 40%. It might be easier for decimals because 14 hundredths is the same as 14 hundredths, and it's basically 14%. So this is how you express fractions or decimal as a percent. And if you have a percent and you're asked to express it as a decimal, you first write it in a fraction form. So 7% is 7 hundredths, and then you get 7 hundredths in decimal. So isn't that pretty easy for you? Next one, multiply. If you have a whole number, multiply a percent. What you can do is the whole number multiplies the fraction represented by the percent. And you all know how to do multiplication of a whole number and a fraction. You can do 45 times 20 divided by 100. You can get 9. Or you can do 45 divided by 100 times 20. And you get the same answer. So you know how to do questions like this. I have faith in you in that. And next one, word problems. This problem, a baker has 50 pounds of flour. She uses 12 pounds of flour to make bread. She uses 15% of the flour to make cookies. And question number 1 is, what percent of flour does she use to make bread? So percent is comparing two numbers. In this case, it is it doesn't seem right. Okay, let's solve a word problem together before you get into more practice. This example says, a baker has 50 pounds of flour. She uses 12 pounds of flour to make bread. She uses 15% of the flour to make cookies. This is a question from the book, but I made up one more question using the information. The first question is, what percent of the flour does she use to make bread? To compare the flour used for bread and the total amount of the flour, we use fractions. 12 out of 50 pounds are used for bread, which is 50 times 2, you make a denominator of 100. And 12 times 2, you get 24. So 24 out of 100 is 24%. And the next question I made up, how much flour does she use to make cookies? It says she uses 15% of the flour to make cookies. So 15% of 50 pounds is 50 times 15%, which is 50 times 15 out of 100. You can do 50 divided by 100 first, and times 15, you get 7.5 or 7.5 in decimal. So these are some samples from the chapter wrap-up in your textbook. And now I hope you're ready to answer all the questions and to have fun doing it.